Attachment Theory by Tiana Hickson and Lindsay Korlach. Attachment theory is the deep emotional bond that connects two people over space and a span of time. It proposes that the intimate relationships we form in our adult lives are shaped by the nature of the bonds we form with our primary caregivers in infancy and childhood. Attachment, however, is not always reciprocated. One person may have an attachment to an individual, whereas the other may not have any attachment to that same person. Next, we want to look at attachment behavior system, which is a set of the behaviors and reactions that helps ensure the developing child's survival by keeping the child in close physical contact with their caregivers. It is ultimately designed to regulate proximity to the attachment figure. According to Bowlby, the child will ask specific questions that are directed to proximity. For example, attachment theory is comprised of three key variables, which are the child's own internal states, the caregiver's availability and responsiveness, and the presence of threats in the environment. Now we will move into the different types of attachment styles. The attachment styles are secure, preoccupied, dismissive, and fearful. These are viewed as quadrants and are defined by the dimensions of anxiety and avoidance. Let's first take a look at the secure attachment style. Secure attachment is when an individual holds positive views of themselves and others. They also have feelings of worthiness and love from others, and confidence that the other will be dependable. One example of a secure attachment style is John and Katie have been dating for a while. He is very comfortable with his girlfriend. He also trusts her when she hangs out with friends, which include both sexes. But he never worries because he is confident that she loves him back and will always be there for him. This example. Next, we will look at preoccupied attachment style, also known as anxious attachment style. Preoccupied attachment is the positive view of others. These individuals value closeness but have high anxiety and constantly worry about their own insecurities. They are sometimes perceived as needy, and rejection confirms their insecurities. An example of this attachment style is Sarah and Jacob have been dating for a couple of months. She worries he will find someone better than her, so she constantly wants to be around him. This is just one example of how someone with an anxious attachment styles, how they may act. Moving along to dismissive attachment style. Individuals with dismissive attachment holds positive views of themselves but are unlikely to be caring or available. They value their freedom and distance themselves from commitment. For instance, Brian believes that he is a good boyfriend, but he is not there emotionally or mentally for his girlfriend. He believes that she is too needy and continues to keep his distance. And this also is just one example of how a dismissively attached individual may think. Last, we will take a look at fearful attachment style. People who have fearful attachment hold negative views of themselves and others. They also have high anxiety and seek validation from others. They expect pain and rejection from others, and they avoid intimacy. One example of this attachment style is Maggie does not think she will find anyone who will love her and looks for happiness from her friends. She knows she isn't worthy of a relationship because no one ever takes interest. Harry Harlow, circa 1958, performed a study involving rhesus monkeys. He wanted to study the mechanisms by which newborn rhesus monkeys bonded with their mothers. The infants were very dependent on their mothers for nutrition, protection, comfort, and socialization. Very similar to human beings. Now I'll be showing you a short 1-minute clip of how these rhesus monkeys interacted with their mothers.
As you can see, it was weaned on a wire mother. Here's baby 106. Watch. He's going to the wire mother. He's got to eat to live. Oh, he's going back. He's back on the cloth mother, and he'll stay on the cloth mother. Actually, this baby spends 17 to 18 hours a day on the cloth mother, and less than 1 hour a day on the wire mother.